Academy. We are on episode 10. Today, we have some fun things in store. We're going to be doing our 2023 Wrapped. We just got Spotify Wrapped. This is Fandom Academy wrapping up 2023, and I'm very excited for it. But first, as always, I am joined by my amazing co-hosts, CJ and Jaden. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk about 2023. The year has flown by, but looking back on it to prepare for this episode, we have gotten so much cool shit, and I'm so excited to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Kind of like what CJ was saying, like especially like the first half of the year, a lot of like bangers came out, and I'm kind of excited to like revisit those. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, like CJ said, this year has like flown by. Like it seems like yesterday we were sat together in a cinema watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, which we will not be talking about today because it doesn't deserve to be on the list. But this year has flown by. We've got so many great movies and music and TV shows. So much has happened. It feels like when we before this episode, I was like Googling like movies of 2023, shows of 2023. CJ, you Googled pop culture moments of 2023 and you were like, oh, this happened. I was like, that feels like 3 years ago. Like that did not happen this year. Like it's crazy actually what did happen this year. So without further ado, here is our 2023 wrapped episode. Before we get started, make sure you are following us on all of our socials, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. We've been running a giveaway for the past few weeks, and I think that's going to close next week. So you have one more week to enter for the Taylor Swift Eras Tour poster giveaway. There is a code word in our first comeback episode. There it is. CJ's holding it up for you watching in video form. We hid a code word in our first comeback episode, which all you have to do is find that code word in the episode and DM it to us on any socials or comment it, whatever you want to do, and you will automatically be entered. Okay, let's start our 2023 wrap-up. CJ, you're up first with movies.
The movies of 2023 have been unreal. It has been an extremely strong year for movies. We had Barbenheimer weekend. We've had Marvel put out some just bangers with Across the Spider-Verse and Guardians. It's been a great year, and we're actually going to start with our favorite movies, and I'll kick things off. My favorite movie of the year, I think it's still ranked on my number one on my list on Letterboxd, and that's Across the Spider-Verse. I still don't think it's as good as Into the Spider-Verse, but it's easily my favorite movie of the year. Just rewatching it, the emotions you feel, it's just a phenomenal story, and I'm so excited to see where we go next. This movie, and you can see it in every animated movie since, with like Wish and other movies alongside. That animation style has completely rewrote what animation is, the genre. It has completely revamped it, revived it, and that is so awesome because animation is just fantastic for cinemas and for film watchers. So I'm very excited that movie is still number one. Stan everyone in that cast: Haley Steinfeld, Oscar Isaac, just a goated adventure. I can't say any more positive things about this movie. I really don't have very many criticisms besides the fact that it is a part one.
I just remember being so in awe watching that film of all the different animation styles. I was like, how have they fit this much into one film? It was actually like the most breathtaking thing I have watched in a long time. Such a great pick. Jaden, what is your top movie from this year?
I feel like my top movie from this year, I'm gonna have to stay true to my roots, and I'm gonna have to go Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, going into like this summer, and just like it wasn't like super high on my anticipation list, but after seeing it, that movie blew me away. Like the emotional beats, the action, kind of like the deep roots into the Hispanic culture that we got from that movie was like just a perfectly balanced film. And Blue Beetle has always been one of my favorite DC characters, and this movie just solidified that by like 1,000. So I'm gonna have to go Blue Beetle for this one for sure.
I still can't wait to watch it. I know it just got added to HBO Max. I need to watch it so quickly.
I've seen it so many times already.
Yeah, I'm still yet to watch it as well. I was really excited to watch Blue Beetle, but I still haven't, so it's definitely on my list.
You guys are slacking.
I know.
What's your pick?
Feel ashamed. My pick, I feel like, okay, I have kind of two picks, so I'll do an honorable mention at the end, but my favorite movie of the year will just still be Barbie. I was so excited for it. I'm unapologetically obsessed with that film. Just everything about it. I've never rewatched a film so many times in like such a short amount of time. It came out in July, as soon as it came, well, in theaters I watched it 4 times, and then as soon as I could watch it at home, I watched it like another 5 times within like a few weeks. It's crazy how like rewatchable it is. It's just so perfect, and it's simultaneously hilarious and devastating. I sob every time at that last montage at the end of the film when What Was I Made For is playing. But that's like 10 minutes after you're like cry laughing over
From
I'm
I'm
Just
Just
Ken.
Kid.
It's like the emotional roller coaster you go through in this film is just insane, and it's just as perfect, and I have no faults with it. I hope Margot and Ryan and the rest of the cast get the recognition they deserve at the Oscars. Like, I am manifesting it now.
One of my favorite things.
It's so perfect.
One of my favorite things about Barbie is you can tell how much fun everyone had making it. Like you can just
Yeah.
tell how much fun they had
Yeah.
on set and how awesome of a time it was. And that shows through in the movie. So I love Barbie. I think, like you said, Gosling especially deserves that supporting actor now. I'm not sure if Margot will get one. I really think she deserves one. I don't know if she'll
Yeah.
get it just because of the way the committee kind of feels about lighthearted movies most of the time. Don't really get noms, but this is us manifesting for Barbie at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Every Oscars voter listening to us, you know what to do. Do it.
Yeah, and like it's not like I'm gonna be like totally upset about it, but if it all goes to Oppenheimer, like all these, especially
Yeah,
performance-based, film-based awards go to Oppenheimer, I'm gonna be a little upset. I mean, like Oppenheimer was a good movie, obviously. Like there's no one saying that it wasn't, but like just given the premise of everything, like it would not really make sense for me.
I think.
But do you know? Sorry, you go, CJ.
I think Killers of the Flower Moon is probably gonna be taking a lot of those wins home too.
That's true.
Lily
Yeah,
Gladstone,
that's
I think, has Best Actress locked up. I haven't seen anyone that has made me think twice about that. So, even if they get noms, unfortunately, I don't see either of them winning. I think there's just been stronger performances, but also just take into account like the movie they were in. It's so much easier to give stronger performances in like a depressing, more emotional movie than a Barbie, which is more lighthearted and fun. But
true.
Let's hope the Oscars change their mind. Hey, Taylor Swift's a Barbie or Oscars voter now, so
exactly. She will do the right thing.
I know she'll be voting for Barbie.
I was gonna say, can you imagine how like fucking funny it would be if it's between Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Gosling, and Ryan Gosling takes the supporting actor Oscar over Robert Downey Jr., who has been like preparing for this moment his entire life. I just think that would be.
I also have seen a lot of buzz because the first screenings of the Iron Claw, or some of the first screenings of the Iron Claw, happened this past week, and I've seen a lot of buzz around Jeremy Allen White for Best Supporting Actor, which I would love that. Seeing little Jeremy Allen White, the boy I knew as Lip in Shameless, standing on that stage holding an Oscar would bring a tear to my eye. I would love that. But moving on from Best Pictures, our favorite movies of the year, we're gonna pivot a little bit to our most underrated movies of the year. I'll go last this time. And Layla, you went last time, so I'll let you start. What's your underrated pick?
Mine's kind of a silly pick, but I just wish everyone gave Cocaine Bear a chance.
It's so good.
Love that
so
movie.
Good.
I loved it so. I saw it twice in theaters. I think that's more than anyone saw it. But anyways, I literally, if anyone is looking for like a funny film to watch, I would be like, let's just watch Cocaine Bear. Like, I love it. Okay, Mama Bear, she was an icon. Everyone in that film was just hilarious and played their part how they needed to, and I just wish everyone would give it more of a chance rather than just shitting on it because it wasn't as good as other films.
Supremacy.
Exactly.
Effie Trinket wrote that movie, guys. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Honor.
Yeah. And I loved it. And I will watch it. I will keep watching it.
It's such an easy and fun watch too. Like it doesn't take effort to watch that movie. You'll just put it on and you'll giggle a couple times. Like I can guarantee it. It's such a stupid concept. Like it's stupid.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Like a bear does fucking cocaine. Like it's dumb, but it works so well, and it's so funny. And just the moment where the main bear, the mama bear at the end of the movie, is standing on the hill roaring and the lightning strikes in the background. I'm like, this is so peak. This is so peak.
It's so good.
Martin Scorsese could only dream of a shot that good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I want that poster wherever it is.
All right, well, moving on from the peak movie that is Cocaine Bear, Jaden, what is your most underrated movie of the year?
So mine's actually a pretty very recent movie in the last few weeks or so. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them from SNL, the Please Don't Destroy videos.
I love them.
They came out with it. They came out with a movie, and it's on Peacock currently. It's called Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain. Dude, like, I was going into it knowing it was going to be funny, especially because, like, I've seen them do their
clips are the best part of SNL.
The best part. But, like, imagine that, but for an hour and 50 minutes of just fucking pure laughs. Dude, it was so fucking funny. It was so much fun. A lot of, like, the SNL cast came back and was, like, playing these funny-ass roles. It was so fucking good. It was so funny, and it's definitely something that I will be rewatching many times.
I didn't know the movie was a thing even until I saw it on Peacock the other day, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to come back to that because I know it's gonna be funny. I've been in love with them since Three Sad Virgins featuring Taylor Swift, because that skit is one of my favorites.
Oh my god, them! I didn't know
yes.
Oh my god.
They're
so good.
And they had a good one on SNL with Jenna Ortega too, where they're on a road trip. I remember really enjoying that one too. They're funny. I definitely need to check that out because I'm a sucker for SNL, always will be, and they're funny.
Yeah,
they're some of my favorite parts. Mm-hmm. But my underrated movie of the year is actually going to be a movie called Red, White, and Royal Blue. I read the book over the summer before the movie was coming out, and when the movie came out, I just absolutely adored it. I think both of the actors who play Prince Henry and Alex are just amazing in their roles. They're phenomenal. Nicholas Galtzine, this is his year. Love him. And it's just a fun, lighthearted movie. Again, didn't really tackle anything too heavy. It's kind of a easy rom-com watch. And if there's one thing about me, I will always love a rom-com. You put a rom-com in front of my eyes, I will enjoy watching it. So that's my underrated pick. But I'm shocked, honestly, because we've gone through this list and there's still so many movies we didn't mention. Oppenheimer, we briefly mentioned, but it wasn't any of our picks. John Wick 4 was phenomenal. Saltburn came out last week, and I know we just talked about it, but also very good. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Super Mario
and
movie.
Quantumania.
Yeah. No.
No, thank you. Also, I'm going to throw another underrated pick in here because I've been wanting to talk about this person for a while, but No Hard Feelings is good. J-Law is amazing. I
haven't seen it.
Love J-Law. Again, we've been talking about the past few weeks. We are in our Hunger Games renaissance right now. The Hunger Games is so back. Taylor Swift singing Safe and Sound at the Eras Tour. Olivia Rodrigo's playing Catch Me Now at the Jingle Ball Music Festival. And the Hunger Games is just so back. Like, it's so back. And J-Law back in the spotlight with this movie was everything I could have wanted. It's so funny. She's so funny in it. And it just steals your heart. Like, that movie's one of my favorite rom-coms I've watched this year, 100%. I just wanted to bring that up because I love Jennifer Lawrence.
I need to see it. I've been wanting to see it for a while.
It's really fun. It is a lot of fun.
It looked fun. It looked like a lot of fun, yeah.
Well, that is our underrated talk for movies, but the thing about recording a 2023 podcast before 2023 is over is that we have more to go. So I'll start and we can just go around and say what movie that's still coming out that we're most excited for. And I'm starting because mine's not going to be hard to guess. Because Anyone But You comes out on December 22nd, and that is easily my most anticipated movie of the year. And it still hasn't come out yet. So if we record this podcast, let's say December 23rd instead of today, it would probably be my favorite movie of the year. Probably would be my most underrated movie of the year. Would check every box. I would be campaigning for Glenn and Sydney's Oscars. Like, it's time. That movie's going to kill me in very many ways.
I'm happy for you.
All right, Layla. What's your most anticipated movie for the rest of the year?
I mean, I can only think of one, and it's Wonka.
I knew you were gonna say
I only-
Wonka. I knew you were gonna
I
say
can't think of anything else that's coming out this year. So Wonka is my most anticipated film of the rest of the year because it's the only one I can name.
Wonka.
Genuinely though, there have been screenings. I've heard some good things about this film. Like people have been like pleasantly surprised with how good it was. So I'm not gonna shit on it till I've seen it. It looks silly. I like Timothy. He makes me giggle. I
That's
just
the
think
thing
this is
with
gonna
Timmy
be a
though.
fun, weird time.
After seeing him
Yeah.
on like SNL and stuff, I feel like he's low-key a better actor when he's being silly. Like I enjoy
Yeah.
him so much more when he's like on SNL than like watching him in like Dune or anything.
His
Yeah.
SNL episodes are literally some of my favorite.
No, they're
Like,
Yeah, me
awesome.
too.
so good.
And like
so
even
good.
in movies, some of the silliness roles we've gotten with him and like Don't Look Up, and
Yeah, I was gonna say
he
that.
thrives in those roles. Like I feel like that's where he's at his best because he can play a certain
Nothing
character.
potatoes.
He can play that character so well.
Skirt, skirt, skirt.
Oh my god, that thing with Pete Davidson is actually my favorite thing to come out of
Oh,
this year. So
it's
good.
perfect. It's one of the best ones ever, I think. It's amazing. All right,
Jaden,
well,
what's
Jaden,
your most
just leaves us with
anticipated?
you.
Most anticipated. I honestly kind of like with Layla. The only thing I can think of right now is Aquaman 2, and I'm not that excited for it. Like,
Jaden, I
okay,
promise you, there's
but
better than that.
no, I first of all, I'm definitely aware that there's better. I just can't. I don't know what's coming out in December besides Wonka and Aquaman 2.
We have
So-
the Iron Claw coming out. We have.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm looking right now. Wonka. Anyone But You. We already talked about
Yeah.
that. Poor Things featuring Emma Stone, which looks awesome.
Oh, that looks so sick. That comes out
Oh, I
this
haven't heard of
year.
It
that.
comes out next week.
That's
Damn.
damn shit.
But actually, you know what? There's not as much as I thought left.
No, there really isn't.
I thought Mean Girls came out
definitely.
before Christmas. That's why I was confused.
Oh, me too.
It
Is
comes
that
out
the
in
musical that they're
January.
doing?
Yeah,
That's gonna be fun.
it will be fun. We'll talk about it. We'll be here.
Yeah,
We'll talk
absolutely.
about it. I love me some Mean Girls.
Well, now that we've cleared up our favorite movies of the year, Jaden, I'm gonna pass it to you to host the television section of our
Of
2023 wrap-up.
course. Yeah, so just like with movies, we've had quite a few fairly good shows come out in the past year. And obviously, kind of like with movies, we're going to go through our favorites, underrated, some new finds that we all kind of experienced this year. And I guess I'll kick it off with one of my favorites of the year. It's Gen V. Gen V
Ooh.
was so much fun. Literally that the 2-episode premiere was so fun.
So good.
And every freaking week I was literally like waiting at, I think it was like 9 o'clock it dropped. 9 o'clock I was sitting down ready to watch. And I haven't felt like that for a show, like weekly release besides Loki, in a while.
Mm.
So that was a really fun experience. And then obviously my second pick would be Loki, but I wanted to do
thought
something
that's what
that
you were
wasn't.
going for.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't want to
too.
do. I didn't want to do something Marvel because that would just be like. But definitely Loki is obviously with that as well.
And while we're
But I'll pass it to you, CJ. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, while we're speaking about the Gen V trailer, the Boys trailer dropped this morning for season 4.
Yes.
Looks so good.
Yes.
We'll talk more in
So
depth
good.
next week, I'm sure. But it looks phenomenal. Go check it out. Also, House of the Dragon, Hot D trailer dropped today. Also looks phenomenal.
Mhm.
So go watch those trailers, guys. A lot of good TV coming out next year. But for my
yeah.
favorite show of the year, I'm picking a show that would make me howl laughing, like on the floor, kicking my feet laughing. And then within 30 seconds, I would be on the ground fighting for my life through tears. And that is Ted Lasso Season 3. That destroyed me. Watching that last episode, I genuinely felt like I was fighting for my life, holding these tears
Yeah.
back in. And then I just let them go, and I bawled for like an hour probably. It's just, be a goldfish. It's just the most wholesome show. And honestly, I don't even feel bad saying this. I think it's the best written TV show I've ever watched. Because
100%.
from season 1 to season 3, it's seamless. The stories and the seeds that were planted in season 1, every single one of them gets a satisfying conclusion in season 3. And one of my favorite things about Ted Lasso is that every single character has their moment to shine. Every single member of that soccer team had their moment to shine. And all the callbacks in season 3 were just perfect. Like the dog when they were doing the penalty kicks
Oh yeah.
and just like Colin's arc in season 3 really hit home. Like that was phenomenal. It's just Jamie Tart is one of my favorite fucking TV characters ever. I love him. Roy Kent, iconic. Keeley, iconic. Jason Sudeikis is just, that's him forever. I will forever think of him as Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
And I really hope we get something more from this universe because, goddamn, that show really just knew where to hit me, where no other show did.
I want to be able to watch it. I feel like every time I go to watch it, I end up not being able to because something's fucked up with my Apple TV. It's so annoying, bro. It's so annoying. But Layla, passing it to you, what was your favorite show of the year?
Wow. Well.
Right. Yeah.
January 2023 rolled around and there was this little show coming out that I literally wanted to die. Like, I could not contain myself. The Last of Us got a fucking live action adaptation in 2023. Like, obviously we knew about it for a while, but fuck my life, did this show just ruin me. I watched the whole show back in January. I had screeners for it. That 8 weeks that I had to keep my mouth shut was the hardest 8 weeks of my fucking life. This, like, all of this information I was sat on, I just wanted to, like, scream. It is perfect. Everything about it is perfect. The Bill and Frank storyline, I think about that, I will start crying and I will want to just crawl into a dark hole and die. Ellie, Bella Ramsey, let me tell you about Bella Ramsey. They are the most perfect fucking casting for Ellie. They could have, like, I couldn't have dreamed of anyone better to play Ellie. They're the nicest person ever, and just like, I can't even talk about it. And don't even get me started on Pedro Pascal because fuck my life. Him as Joel Miller is like the most perfect casting I've ever seen in my whole damn life. And you know I love that man. Joel Miller can fuck me up any day of the week. Video game Joel Miller can. So you combine those two people, I'm gone. Like, that is just, it's so perfect. Everything about it. Like, I've rewatched it like 20 times. That's not even an exaggeration. I've forced every person in my household to watch it more than one time. Everyone outside of my household that I'm in touch with, I have forced to watch it. Like, it's just the best thing ever. And I'm so worked up right now because I can't believe that it came out in January. Like, it has been a long time and I've been sat on this for a while and I will just never be over how great that show is. Like, oh,
that will always take me back to that time when we were first starting Fandom Academy and everything.
Yeah.
And it was
I was just thinking
so
that,
cool. And that I haven't actually rewatched it yet out of care for my mental health because much like Ted Lasso every week, sobbing. I remember it was the Storm Reed episode. I was in shambles for a while after that. It's just that show, much like, again, Ted Lasso, knew right where to punch you, right in the gut, and you'd be hurting. And it's so good. Even, I think the cinematography is also some of the best we've seen in TV this year. Some of the shots were so badass.
Insane.
And I am terrified for season 2.
Don't even like say that because The Last of Us Part 2 is like the most perfect video game I've ever laid my eyes on. The story fucks me right up, and just like even thinking about Pedro and Bella like playing those characters in a season 2 and going through what Joel and Ellie go through in the video game, I cannot like think past that point because I will just want to die. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I recently did a full binge watch through of The Last of Us, and it was a fucking roller coaster. It was rough. But like you said, it brought me back to when we were first starting Fandom Academy, and it was so much fun. Like that, yeah. And that's almost been a year now. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah,
January
can't
will
believe
almost
be,
it's
wild.
yeah,
been a
We're close to
year.
our 1 year. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. But yeah, moving on from our favorite shows of the year. Obviously those aren't the only shows that came out. So there's a bunch of new television that came out recently, and I guess I'll kick it off with something that I don't think either of you guys have watched. Maybe you guys have. It's called Fall of the House of Usher. It's a
Ooh.
limited
Ooh.
series on Netflix. I believe it's like a horror type show. Gabrielle and I literally binged that in like 2 days. It was pretty fucking insane. Like there was so many twists. It was a very unpredictable, very what's the word? Very nerve wracking, like nail biting. Like it was a very interesting show. And I had a lot of fun watching it. So if you haven't seen Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix, definitely give that a watch.
Hmm.
But yeah, CJ, what have you seen new this year that kind of flew under the radar a little bit?
I don't know if it necessarily flew under the radar because it was a pretty big event, but I honestly don't see it getting the love it deserved, and that's Ahsoka. I thought all 6 episodes really delivered. It was such a fun time. There were surprises, a lot of cool moments, and I actually really changed a lot of my thinking on Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, and because going into the show, I was like, I
Agreed.
really just don't think she fits Ahsoka very well, and at the end of the show, after they kind of gave us background on why she was so much more darker and mysterious, I was like, oh, this makes sense. Ray Stevenson as Balin Skull is one of the coolest things in Star Wars that we've ever
Yeah.
got, and I'm heartbroken that we are never
Rest
going
in
to see more of
peace.
him. But it was just so much fun. Thrawn in live action? Are you kidding me? How could you not be excited about that? And don't even get me started on the damn Clone Wars flashback episode.
Mm-mm.
Holy
Mm-mm.
shit. Seeing
Craziness.
Hayden Christensen in that fucking attire killed me. Dead. Gone. Like, perfect. Perfection. It was everything I ever could have wanted, and I am so glad we got to live through the Ahsoka era because it was well deserved, and I hope we get a season 2.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
good. So good.
What about you, Layla?
This is one that I think wasn't necessarily underrated. I think it was just quite niche. Like you needed to watch. Okay, it's Queen Charlotte, and I think not a lot of people watched it because not a lot of people, or as many people, have seen Bridgerton as other things. Bridgerton is one of my favorite Netflix original shows. I love season two. Kate and Anthony's relationship in season two is my favorite thing on TV ever. Queen Charlotte gave me a whole new perspective on everything in Bridgerton, and Charlotte and George's relationship fucking broke me. Like India and Corey, who play Charlotte and King George, oh my god, like they just blew me away. That show is incredible. Every aspect of it, like the friendship, the romance, the whatever you want to call it, like their arranged marriage, like oh, it just killed me off. It's so perfect, and just to be like transported back to the Bridgerton universe. And I am a sucker for a prequel. I will be a prequel defender my entire life. So Bridgerton getting a prequel was always gonna sit right with me. And yeah, it was. I loved it so much, and I loved getting to talk to people about it who had seen it because it was just such an amazing show, and I wish more people had seen it. And I need everyone to watch Bridgerton if you haven't already because season 3 is coming out soon and that is gonna be great.
Bridgerton has been on my list for a little while now. I have not watched it yet, but it is on my list, the list that keeps
Mhm.
growing forever and ever and ever. But I have a couple of like honorable mentions that I did not talk about yet. We have The Bear, which is something
Mhm.
that I watched both seasons this year. I know that technically came out in 2022, but season 2 came out this year. That was a lot of fun. It's very fucking overwhelming. If you're not familiar with like how the kitchen works or how serving is, like how the service industry like is, it's very high paced, it's very intense, and they did not miss a beat on that for sure. Then there's also Invincible, which is season 2 just recently wrapped up, or I guess season 2 part 1 just recently wrapped up. That was another absolute banger. Season 1 was perfection. And then my personal favorite of my underrated shows is Doctor Who. I
Mm.
fucking love Doctor Who. David Tennant, fucking Matt Smith, David Eccleston. They're my top 3 doctors of all time.
Stan
But
Matt
even these
Smith.
recent, yeah,
Morbius
even these
supremacy.
recent, unbelievable, unbelievable.
Just
Can't
killed
believe
his
you just do that
vibe.
to me.
Whoops.
Yeah, seriously. I don't even want to talk anymore. No, but yeah, Doctor Who. Doctor Who's definitely very underrated. It's very corny, very cheesy, but it's very near and dear to my heart.
I also have one
But
that is an honorable
yeah, go
mention
ahead.
for me that I couldn't. I was deciding between Ahsoka and this, but Heartstopper season 2 was phenomenal.
Yes.
So good. It actually caused me to get a tattoo of a Taylor Swift lyric because they used the song 7 in the show, and I was like, this is my sign to get this tattooed on me. I love that show so much. Again, Kit Connor and Joe Locke are just perfection in those roles. They're so innocent. They play Nick and Charlie so well. They are literally, that show is from the pages of the books on screen, and there's nothing more satisfying than that a lot of the time, especially when it's so seamless and perfect. And I just love that show. So watch it if you haven't.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now that we've wrapped up the television section, we've gone through movies, we've gone through television, and now the next best thing is to move on to music. And we will be, Layla will be heading that section. Layla, take it away.
Oh my god, did we get some good music this year? We were fed. As Swifties, we were fed. And just as general music listeners, we were fed. I'm gonna kick this off with best new album of the year. I strongly believe that Speak Now Taylor's version just like completed my life. It's my second favorite Taylor album after Folklore, and just getting these vault tracks, the Speak Now vault tracks. I think I said this last week when we were in our Taylor Swift section, but they are just my favorite vault tracks from any re-recording that she's done. The only potential thing that could beat them is Reputation, because I know there are some good ones sitting in that vault.
Yeah.
So I'll wait and see, but for now, Speak Now is my favorite. That whole era, like the lead up to it, the fact that she was on tour during it, so like living this era with the fans was just incredible. And on the day, I woke up really early and I went and parked at McDonald's with my best friend Lottie, and we listened to the full album and we like recorded our reactions, and just going back and watching those videos from that day is just like my favorite thing ever, just like reliving that. Yeah, I strongly believe that Speak Now Taylor's version is just phenomenal. CJ, what about you? What was your favorite album of this year?
So I've been kind of mixed. I love 1989, but I don't know if I love the Vault songs enough to make it my favorite album of the year, especially because that's kind of like the only thing that's new. So I'm actually gonna
Yeah.
talk about something I love talking about with all of my friends, and that's Boy Genius. The record by Boy Genius is phenomenal. There are so many songs in there. True Blue has been like my anthem the past few months. I love that song. Not Strong Enough is just an absolute screamer in the car. Emily, I'm Sorry is just so good. And all three of them, Julian, Phoebe, Lucy, oh, I love all of them so much. They're so iconic. If you haven't watched their Troye Sivan skit on SNL, please go do it. And speaking of Troye Sivan, that's my honorable mention, is his album that came out just a few weeks ago, actually, because I have been vibing to that album. I'm back in my Troye Sivan era for the first time since like 2017, so I'm excited about it.
Love that.
Jaden, what about
you? So I'm actually gonna go. I'm also steering away from Taylor because I had a couple of Taylor's version albums that I was rattling in my brain, but I'm actually gonna go with Doja Cat. Her album Scarlet.
Yes.
Also honorable mention because I didn't know how to pick between the two of them. Guts.
That was gonna be my honorable mention.
Yeah. Oh, Liv Rod stole my heart with this new album.
Get it back.
I'm not gonna lie, she stole my heart with this new
so
album.
Good.
Bad idea,
but yeah,
right?
I've been bumping a lot of their music lately, and it's just because of these two albums mostly. But yeah,
I guess while we're on the subject, we can combine this with our favorite songs of the year. So apart from the Speak Now vault tracks, Lacey on Guts, I don't know why that sticks with me so good. It just does. But also Teenage Dream. Like when Sour came out, there was a lyric, "I'm so sick of 17." I was 17 when the album came out, and now Teenage Dream, got your whole life ahead of you. You're only 19. I'm 19 as Guts release, so Olivia is just like ruining my life and also just making my life a better place at the same time. But obviously, so many great songs came out this year. I mean, I'm Just Ken. Well, it made it to my like top 10 on Spotify Wrapped, so shout out I'm Just Ken. But what about you guys? What were like your favorite? It can be from like your favorite album of the year too. Just any of your favorite songs that came out this year. CJ, go.
So, as I mentioned, Choice of On Renaissance, One of Your Girls has been one of my favorite songs this year so far. I love it. But it's
Mhm.
so hard to pick just one song because Slut from 1989, Taylor's version, is so
Yeah.
iconic and I listen to it so
I'm
much.
gonna be true.
But also, the Hunger Games Renaissance, You Can't Catch Me Now by Olivia Rodrigo is fucking fire.
Yes.
And even some of
Crazy.
the
So good.
songs in the
Crazy.
movie, Nothing You Can Take From Me, the boot stopping version by Rachel
Yeah.
Zegler, fire. It's heat. I've been cranking that at the gym and it's fun. We've had so much good music. It's so hard to pick just one song.
Mhm.
So hard. Um, yeah, I guess just I could pick a lot of songs, especially in Guts. I mean, obviously they have Bad Idea, right? They have Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl.
Yeah.
And they have, what was the other one that I've been listening to a lot? There's another, oh, Vampire. Vampire is
Vampire
another
is
one that
so
I
good.
Vampire is so good.
Vampire is so good. But steering away from them, one of my favorite songs that came out by a group called The Bleachers. I'm sure you guys are familiar with The Bleachers. Um, yeah, it's called Modern Girl. I was bumping that for so long. They have this like, I think it's like 30-second long snippet of just saxophone, and he goes hard. I
Damn.
fucking love the saxophone. And they incorporate saxophone in their music a lot, but yeah, that one was just an absolute banger.
I love it. I love it. So much good music this year by so many
Mhm.
incredible artists, but there have been some artists that have been on the rise this year or maybe discovered for the first time. Boy Genius being one of my favorite of the year, definitely. I will just support them till the day I die. They're incredible. Jaden, who's been like your favorite upcoming artist of this year, if you have one?
Yeah, I've been listening a lot to Noah Khan.
Hell yeah,
He's an artist that just has a very not like unique voice, but a voice that I love listening to. Like
Hmm.
obviously there's a lot of singers, there's a lot of artists out there and they have amazing voices, but something about Noah Khan's voice, I cannot get over his music. I cannot. And I think I mean there's only two songs that I believe that I've heard of like mostly being played. His recent one with Post Malone.
Drunk
Um,
Dial.
and then there's and then there's another one. It's like You'll Go Far, I think. That was one that I like for that's been my anthem for like the last year now. But Noah Khan is definitely one of my favorites.
I've been bumping
Absolutely.
Stick Season for weeks. I love that song.
Yeah.
CJ, what about you?
All right, so I have two that I want to bring up. First, I'll bring up Miss Ice Spice. Hello, iconic. She came out of nowhere, and respect to her because she is one of the bigger names in music right now. And it's just, she's too iconic to not be one of the bigger names. The hairstyle, she really knows how to market herself. And she has two of the biggest women in the industry as her biggest cheerleaders, as Taylor Swift and Nicki Minaj both took Ice Spice under their wings. And how are you not going to succeed when you have Taylor
Right.
Swift and Nicki
Yeah.
Minaj helping you in the industry? Her music's so fun. Barbie World, she and
Oh
Hamoud
shit, yeah.
and Hamoud is
Mm.
fire. Deli, he a munch. Like she got some fire music. I can't lie. And my
I
other
feel like
one,
every time no, go ahead, sorry.
no, what were you saying?
I just feel like every time she makes new music, it instantly goes fucking viral, and I
Oh,
love it.
always.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And my other one is Gracie Abrams. I have fallen in love with Gracie this year. Seeing her on the Eras tour, sing with Taylor, will forever be my biggest flex. I know I talked about it last week, but I absolutely adore her. And I'm so excited to see her get that nom for Best New Artist at the Grammys because she is so deserving of it. She is phenomenal. And also honorable mention to Renee Rapp too, because Renee Rapp's music hits. Like her Too Well is
Mhm.
fire, and I can't wait to see more of her too. And she got snubbed actually at the Grammys. I think she deserved a nom.
I feel like the Grammys next year is gonna be crazy. Like, I
Oh,
don't know
there's
how
so
they're
much
gonna call it on a
competition.
lot of categories.
Dude, even album of the year, you have Midnight's,
Yeah.
Guts, and SOS by SZA. Like, how are you choosing?
Hmm.
How are you
Right.
choosing
No.
between those three? Like,
No.
good luck to those voters.
Right.
Honestly, all of the award shows next year are gonna be fucking crazy. Like, I
Award
don't know how they're
season is
gonna
the
call
best time of the
anything.
year. Best
Yeah,
time of the
yeah.
year. It's so much
Uh,
fun. I'm sure we'll do a Grammy and Oscars episodes once they get a little bit
yeah, we should
closer.
do
We
like
have noms.
predictions. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
because that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, next thing we have on our list is actually gonna close off this 2023 wrap. But let's talk about our favorite pop culture moments of this year. CJ, I'm gonna hand this one to you.
So there has been a lot of wild shit happening in the universe this year. We've had Elon Musk buying Twitter. We've had breakups to last a lifetime. We had Taylor Swift dating Maddie Healy, which Layla
Oh no.
unfortunately reminded me of before this
I'm
episode.
so
We've had so many just wild moments this year. So we're going to talk about them. And first is biggest surprise of the year. And the biggest surprise of the year, honestly, for me, because I was just like, whoa, was I'm going to say the Super Bowl halftime show when Rihanna did that shit pregnant. No one knew she was pregnant going into that.
Oh
And
shit,
she
yeah.
just
That
came
was,
out
oh
there
my God.
and ate.
Super Bowl. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she gave one of my favorite Super Bowl performances ever. And there's rumors that she's has 2 albums loaded up, ready to go with a tour in mind. So the Rihanna comeback with announcing her pregnancy is probably my biggest surprise of the year. Also, because I love Miss Riri. You can see her on my wall, kind of right here. I'm blocking her a little bit, but it was a lot of fun, and I will forever remember that Super Bowl halftime show, even though the stupid Chiefs fucking won. Stan
How
Travis
to
Kelce,
forget
though.
on the Chiefs.
Right.
All right. And then Layla, what is yours?
Mine just has to be Taylor and Joe. Like, I did not see that coming at all. Like, it just, and then, okay, no, let me. When it happened, I was like, what the fuck? The world is ending. Love doesn't exist. And then in the months following, the shit that was going down following this breakup was like, oh, when she dropped You're Losing Me. Oh, honorable mention for favorite song of the year, You're Losing Me. Although it was written in 2020 fucking one, which
That's not
found
okay.
out a few days ago. This is only just part of the Taylor and Joe lore. Oh my god.
Put that into
Honestly, there have
perspective.
been,
She
yeah.
wrote that song very shortly after All Too Well 10-minute version was released.
That's so crazy.
Because
No.
that came out, I
That's so
believe,
crazy.
it was either October or November of 2021 when Red came out, Red TV. So, and she wrote that, I believe, was it November of 2021 or was it December?
I think it was in December she wrote and Red came out in November.
Yeah. So
Oh
they
my
were.
god. No. Swifties have been at war this year. My poor girl. Taylor, I love you, but please just give us a break. Please.
And
Yeah,
Jaden,
that's
that
my
brings us
biggest
to
surprise.
you. What's your biggest pop culture surprise of the year?
This one's actually going to be kind of recent, and it's going to be Pedro potentially being cast in the MCU. That was something that I genuinely did not see happening. Mostly because I didn't see him like wanting to do that. And
Mm.
so the fact that after all of these fan casts of Reed Richards and Sue Storm and all of these damn fucking characters, out of the blue for Pedro to be like weirdly just like, oh yeah, by the way, this is a report and not a rumor. That's so weird to me. But it was a pleasant surprise at that.
I went through the 5 stages of grief in that first hour of that news dropping. Like, I lived so many different lifetimes that day. It was a mess. Oh my god.
And that'll bring us to the most memorable moments of 2024, which we've had a lot. And I'm going to have 2. One is going to be more expected than the other, but I'm going to start with my most expected one. And that's just the Eras Tour as a whole. The Eras Tour, honestly, has been one of the most defining moments of 2023. From the moment Taylor walked on stage in March in Glendale, Arizona, to when she walked off stage just a couple weeks ago in Sao Paulo, everyone has been talking about the Eras Tour. It has been the talk of the town. So many people have gone and seen this show, like an absurd amount of people, even if they're not in the stadium. Just seeing all the videos of people sitting in lawn chairs outside stadiums listening to it, it shows you her power and her influence. And when people think about 2023, people are going to think about the Eras Tour and the Renaissance Tour. And I'm so happy for women in music because that is such a big deal. Those two, Beyonce and Taylor Swift, really did have the defining moments of this year.
I will just never forget on that first night of tour, the Taylor Swift Eras Tour updates page being like, breaking, Taylor Swift is swimming under the stage at the Eras Tour. Like, that was like the best tweet of the year. It was so funny that night, like everyone figuring out how the show worked. It was hilarious.
I remember because I was actually in Columbus. It was St. Patrick's Day with Gabby and Jaden. And I remember we got home and I looked at the set list from the show and I almost was in tears because the entirety of All Too Well was in the show. Like all 10 minutes made the set list and I was so excited. It legitimately made my year. But moving on to my other memorable moment is actually as recent as last week, and that's CM Punk returning to WWE because no one saw that coming. The reception he got, how much he means to so many wrestling fans. I remember watching him in WWE when I was a little kid. So seeing him now, I'm all grown up and he's back after a 10-year absence is just wild. And I'm so excited we got it. And that's just wrestling it's been such a good year for wrestling. AEW is really starting to kick things up. And WWE has just, Triple H has taken WWE and complete 180'd it into one of the best wrestling products that I've watched in years. It's reminding me of like when I watched as a kid. Like I'm having as much fun watching it now as I did when I was a little kid, and that's a lot because we went through. I remember from like 2019 to 2021, or 2022 even. It was rough to watch sometimes. So I'm so glad we're back for it being a really great product, and it's just been a great year for wrestling. But moving on from my most memorable. Jaden, what was your most memorable moment of the year?
So I guess I wouldn't technically classify them as moments, but I have two, and they're memorable because they were so fucking funny and just like why. So first one is the fucking grimace shake from it.
That's so perfect.
That was such a thing. That was such a thing for no reason.
That trend is one of the best things ever.
Dude,
oh my god.
That era of TikTok where it's like
elite.
I'm gonna trying the grimace shake and just like the absolute out of pocketness that happened on TikTok. That era is so fucking funny.
Oh my
god. Bring the grimace shake back because it was fucking fire too. McDonald's, like even before you dumped it on your head, like it tasted so good. Please bring it back.
And then my second one is those like fucking red boots. Those big, red, gigantic, like...
Oh my god, yeah.
I think I need to bring up a picture, because, like, they were such a weird thing. Hold on.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so intrigued.
You're gonna
like
know what I'm
massive,
talking about.
Like, red, they look
you're
like
gonna know.
Rubber boots.
You're gonna know.
Or like a lot of people wearing them. What the fuck? Oh my god, I forgot. I do know what those are, yeah.
Why? Like, again, why was that a thing? So crazy to me.
Oh my god.
I forgot about the grimace shake. Thank you for unlocking that memory.
Same.
And that brings us to you, Layla. What was your most memorable moment of the year?
Pedro Pascal on SNL. Just that week where the first picture of him like doing the table read dropped from the actual show. His skits were hilarious. The one where he's in the hospital bed. The one where he's in the hospital bed and he's like, oh my god, like, oh my god. That is like the funniest fucking shit. And the one where he's the old grandma, and then like a few weeks ago he was on with Bad Bunny where he like revisited that character. I was fucking dead. And the one where he's a teacher and they're like making fan cams of him, like that whole, oh my god.
The best.
The one at dinner even, where they all couldn't contain themselves because they were laughing so hard. Yeah, no one stayed in character. They were just struggling the entire time.
Oh my god. Like if anyone was gonna kill SNL like that, it was gonna be Pedro. He is hilarious, and I'm so glad everyone got to see that side of him because he is actually genuinely one of the funniest people ever. Oh my god, yeah. That's just
Legitimately one of the
my
funniest
favorite
episodes
thing.
of SNL I've ever watched. Because usually
Yeah.
with SNL, there's like some skits that are really funny, but some of them miss. I feel like every Pedro Pascal
Yeah.
was hit. Like I laughed at least once
Yeah.
for all of them.
Like Sarah Paulson rocking up, like it was like the
Yeah,
most random thing
Yeah.
ever. It was so good, so good.
so good. And I guess that wraps up our 2023 talk of pop culture. So we're just gonna do a little bit. Let's just do an outlandish prediction for 2024. Something really outlandish we think is gonna happen. And I'll go first. And this may be a prediction, and it may be manifesting, but Glenn Powell will be cast in the MCU by the end of next year. That is my prediction. That is my manifesting. That is my
Okay.
need, my source of life. So that's going to be my 2024 prediction. But Jaden, what's yours?
I think my 2024 prediction is it's going to be another MCU one. But it's going to be the announcement of the Midnight Suns, because
Ooh.
that is something I have been waiting to be talked about, waiting to happen. They're planting little seeds every once in a while, and I'm here for it. And that is what I want next year.
Perfect. And Layla, that brings us to you. What's your prediction for 2024?
Oh my god. Again, I don't know if this is a prediction or manifestation, but I think they're gonna announce a Triple Frontier sequel.
That would be so
You would
That's all
die.
I
You would
want.
be dead.
That's all
that
I
would be
want in
so
life.
crazy.
All I need in my life. I'm putting it out there. There's been tiny rumors from tiny little websites, but I'm holding out every inch of hope that I have that happens. Yeah.
I just have one more prediction, and this again is really just a manifestation, let's be honest. But we're gonna get TS11 announced next year. That's the biggest stretch, I think.
Oh.
But in the Spotify poster, there was an
Oh, the
orange vault
orange.
shooting out pink confetti. If we go
Mhm.
back a couple of years to the Grammys, where Taylor Swift won the Oscar for, or not the Oscar, God, the Grammy for Best Album
We
of the
wish.
Year for 1989, she was
Mhm.
wearing what colors? Orange
Pink and
and pink.
orange.
And before Reputation was wrote and all that chaos went down, we were supposed to get an album called Karma, the lost
Karma.
album that has been teased time and time again and has been associated with the color orange. And we know from the Bejeweled video, TS11 is orange. The teases are coming. They're starting to go
Mhm.
faster. And I
The math
think
is mathing.
that I'm going to be sat here like a clown on December 31st, 2024 with no announcement.
Yay!
But for the sake of being a clown, because I will always clown for Mother, I think we'll get a TS11 announcement next year, if not the album.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Well, as we wrap up our episode, I thought it would be really cute if we did a 2023 favorite moment of the year. And for me, my favorite moment of the year, which is going to be hard to top ever, was our trip to LA. It was so much fun. It makes me cry thinking about it because I miss you all so much. And that was legitimately one of the best weeks of my life. So that was probably my favorite moment of the year.
Oh, why am I gonna cry?
It's probably all of our favorite moments of the year. Let's be real.
100%.
Such a wholesome trip. But no, you're going to give me something. You're not getting out that easy. Layla, you're up.
Besides the trip, which I cannot believe that was this year. Like, it feels like simultaneously so long ago, but also like it could have been last month.
Literally.
And we
Right.
need to all reunite next year because I miss everyone.
It was just yesterday. We were all
But
stranded at the beach without an Uber to come pick us up.
oh my god, I forgot about that. And we were texting everyone, being like, "Guys, we're stranded. We can't get home." Oh my god,
And
that
then
was
planning a bank heist with the Uber driver. We had fun.
oh
We
my
had
god.
fun.
That was my favorite day. The beach day was my
I
favorite
agree.
day.
And then me and Layla
Um,
for locoed.
God damn. Yeah. Yeah,
that's
you did.
it. Never give me a watermelon one ever again. If we're doing it again, I want a different flavor. That was fucking rank. Never
Layla,
again.
I'm just gonna warn you, none of them are good.
Right.
I don't care. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Anyways, my favorite moment of this year. Well, I kind of have two, and they're both like celebrity encounters. Number one meeting Hayden with Jaden. Hayden and Jaden, it
Yeah.
rhymes. He was like the nicest guy ever. Like he was
Really
fucking
was.
like, oh my god, I actually like want to die thinking about him.
King.
We've all met Hayden this
We
Oh
have.
my god, wait, that's
Love
kind of
that.
cool. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that was in
so
Philly, right,
meeting
TJ?
Yeah, it
Hayden
was
and
in Philly.
meeting Hayden and just the whole Star Wars Celebration weekend was incredible.
Mhm.
But also Bella Ramsey and Gabriel Luna. Gabriel, oh my god, I wanted to like cry myself to sleep thinking about what happened in our interaction. But Bella, just I cannot even describe to you like the emotions I felt that day. It was and getting to do it with two of my friends that I met on like Marvel Stan Twitter. Like this was the first time we'd met after knowing each other for like 3 years maybe. And we all got to do this together and we all met Bella and Gabriel and they were just the nicest people ever. But Bella, I will cherish that interaction until the day I die. It was just perfect. But yeah, I've had such a fucking great year. I'm gonna have like a full recap coming soon, so look out for that. It's been a great year. Jaden, what about you?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, besides going to London for Star Wars Celebration and then going to LA to meet all of my beautiful friends, I think it's just honestly anytime that like I was able to see you guys, like I every moment that we've like with CJ
Aw,
coming here for St. Patty's Day,
that was so
going
fun.
to Philly, seeing Emma, and it's just like every time CJ gets to come over and we can all see like a new Marvel movie or just any new movie that's out, it's like those are the moments I'm like, fuck, this is nice. This is really
Yeah,
good. I like this.
it's
And
always good
it
times, good vibes.
never ever yeah, and it never gets old. Ever.
Ever.
Ever, ever.
Nope. And since we all
And
did
you
one
both need
extra
to come to
besides,
London next year.
yep, I'm there.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
brings me to actually, besides the LA trip, my favorite moment of the year, and that was being able to attend the Eras Tour in Cincinnati, in my
Next year.
hometown. She came to my hometown. That's so cool.
Crazy.
Seeing my city go crazy, decorate. Stores were running sales because of Taylor Swift. Everyone, like, every restaurant in downtown had special drinks and food based around Taylor Swift. Like, I remember, so my show was Saturday. We went Friday night to listen outside the concert, and I was able to get a lavender haze lemonade. And it was the best lemonade I've ever had because it was branded about Taylor Swift. So it was so fun, and just the vibes around the Eras Tour are always going to be the best vibes. I cannot wait to do it with Layla next year. Top of my anticipation list for next year. It'll be my first time ever leaving the United States, so I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm so excited.
But unless
That's so
anyone
crazy how
has,
like you sorry, go on.
what are you saying?
I was gonna say it's so crazy how the first time I left the UK was to come meet you guys, and then the first time you're leaving the States is coming to London. I love this for us. It's been it's
That's
gonna
how
be a
tight
good
we
year next
are.
year. I'm
That's how
excited.
tight we
Right.
are. But unless anyone has anything else to say about the wild year that was 2023, that'll bring us to the end of Fandom Academy 2023 Wrapped. And it's been a good
Such a great
year.
year.
And I'm so excited we got to talk about it. And guess what? Year's not over yet. We'll be back next week. I think we're talking about Christmas movies next week.
Hell yeah. I'm down.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna get
sure.
together a little Christmas movie draft for next week. Tis the season. Tis the
Aw.
damn season if you ask Taylor Swift. But make sure you're following the Fandom Academy on all socials and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content. You can find all of our stuff on our website, all the work we do. I know we're getting back into the writing game a little bit. We're dipping our toes. So make sure you check us out there. And yeah, like Layla said at the beginning of the episode, make sure you check out our giveaway from our return. I think it was episode 8 of season 2. So make sure you
Yeah.
find that. There's a code word in there. DM us anywhere, comment, and leave us a review of where you watch the podcast, whether it be YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Those reviews really do help. And we love you, and we'll see you next week. Heart.